At my daughter's graduation party, I proudly gave her a necklace passed down through 5 generations. She opened the box, scoffed, and threw it into the punch bowl, laughing. I wanted money, not garbage. Everyone went silent. I picked up the necklace and left. 2 years later, she showed up sobbing on my porch, but I had nothing left to give. My daughter threw away more than a necklace that day. She threw away trust, respect, and everything I thought we had between us. I didn't scream. I didn't curse. But I changed. Let me tell you the full story. The real story. I live just outside Dayton, Ohio. Grew up here, stayed here. I work HVAC. Honest work. Been at the same company for 20 years. My wife died when our daughter, Lacey, was 9. Car crash on Route 35. Rainy night. I still remember the call. I had to pull over because I couldn't see the road through my tears. After that, it was just me and Lacey. She was everything. My whole world. I never remarried. Didn't even date for years. All I cared about was giving her a good life. I coached her softball team. Made her lunch every day. Took night shifts when money got tight. When she cried over bullies or heartbreaks, I was there. I thought we were close. I thought I did okay. For her graduation, I planned a backyard party. Nothing fancy, just friends, family, neighbors. Balloons, barbecue, big sheet cake from the bakery. I even rented a speaker and made a playlist with all her favorite songs. She picked the dress. Dark blue, sleeveless. Said it made her feel grown. I was proud. But I also had something important for her. Something I'd been saving since my mom passed, the family necklace. It belonged to my great-grandma, passed from mother to daughter for 5 generations. It was small, simple rose gold with a round locket that clicked when it opened. Inside was a tiny photo of my mother and a handwritten note, "Pass this on with love." When my mom gave it to me, she said, "Give it to someone who'll understand what it means." I thought that someone was Lacey. So when the music quieted down and people were eating cake, I stood up to speak. I thanked everyone for coming, then I called Lacey up. She was laughing, texting, didn't seem too interested, but she came up. I handed her the little velvet box and said, "This is from your great-great-grandmother. It's been in our family a long time." She opened it. Looked at the necklace. Then rolled her eyes and laughed. "Are you serious?" she said, turning so everyone could hear. I wanted money, not some old garbage. Then she tossed it. I swear to God, she threw that necklace across the table like it was a napkin. It landed right in the red fruit punch bowl. People gasped. One of her friends covered her mouth. Her boyfriend, some punk named Drew, laughed. I just stood there. For a second, I couldn't move. I stared at the punch bowl, then at her. I felt something snap in my chest. I didn't yell. I walked over, reached into the bowl, pulled the necklace out, and wiped it off with my shirt. Then I walked into the house. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't go back out. She never came to find me that night. I went to bed while her friends partied in the basement. The next morning, the yard was trashed. Cups, plates, food smeared everywhere. Lacey was gone. Left a note, "Staying at Drew's. Don't wait up." I didn't hear from her for weeks. Eventually, I learned she moved in with him. Drew. No job. Smoked weed all day. Played video games. She stopped answering my texts. When I offered to help pay for school, she replied, "I'm not interested in community college. I'm done with school." That was the last real message I got from her. The next year, someone told me she was pregnant. Then, later, that she lost the baby. Nobody called me. I wasn't invited to anything. My daughter became someone I didn't recognize. I kept the necklace. Cleaned it as best I could. Put it in my drawer. Never touched it again. I spent a lot of nights wondering what went wrong. What I missed. Where I failed. I gave her everything. I wasn't perfect, but damn it, I tried. Then, 2 years later, I heard a knock. It was cold out. March. Windy. I opened the door and there she was. Thin. Wet from the rain. Eyes red. She looked tired. Older than 20. She said nothing at first. Just stared. Then finally, I don't know where else to go. I stepped outside. Closed the door behind me. She started crying. Told me Drew left her. Said she was broke. Had been couch hopping. She looked so small. She apologized. Said she was sorry for what she did. That she thought about that necklace every day since. That she was too proud to come back sooner. Said she'd do anything for another chance. But I couldn't find the words. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel relief. I felt nothing. I told her, you threw something away that meant everything to me. I can't get that back. She begged. Said she didn't know what it meant. That she was just a stupid kid. That she didn't realize. I looked at her. It wasn't just about the necklace. It was about respect. Then I went back inside and closed the door. She stayed on the porch for a while. I could hear her crying. I didn't open the door again. I watched from the window as she walked off into the rain. I still think about that night. Part of me regrets it. Part of me doesn't. You don't always get closure in life. Sometimes you just get silence. 3 weeks passed after she showed up at my door. I didn't hear a word from her. I figured she'd gone back to Drew, or maybe moved in with some other friend. That should have been the end of it. But then Cheryl, the woman I was seeing who runs the bakery in town, came into my house one evening looking tense. I was fixing the door on my shed when she pulled up. "You need to see this," she said, holding out her phone. It was a GoFundMe page. The title read, "Abandoned by my father, trying to start over." There was a photo of Lacey, the same night she showed up here in the rain. Wet hair. Puffy eyes. Underneath, a long story about how her father turned her away, how he chose a necklace over his own daughter, how she was homeless, alone, and just trying to survive. She raised over $9,000. I read every word. And I swear to God, I felt like I'd been kicked in the chest. She made me sound like some cold, bitter man who shut the door in her face without even giving her a chance. There was no mention of the party. No mention of how she threw away a century-old heirloom and laughed in front of 50 people. No mention of the years I raised her alone. I wasn't a man in her story. I was a villain. And people believed it. Comments flooded the page. Strangers calling me a monster. One even posted my name and said I worked HVAC in Dayton and people should tell him how they feel. That night I got a call at work. Someone screamed at me and hung up. I couldn't sleep. Cheryl tried to calm me down, but I could barely speak. The next morning, I drove straight to the address on her fundraiser, the mailing address where people were sending checks. It was a small apartment complex on the rough side of town. I knocked. No answer. But I could hear music inside. I knocked again, louder. She opened the door. She looked surprised, almost scared. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "You posted lies about me on the internet," I said. "You're telling people I abandoned you like I never tried. Like I didn't raise you alone. Like you didn't humiliate me in front of everyone. She folded her arms. You did abandon me. I just stared at her. Is that what you really believe? She didn't answer. I was there every day of your life until you left, I said. And now you're making money off a sob story? She bit her lip, like she wanted to say something but couldn't. Then she whispered, I didn't know what else to do. I almost believed her until I saw the new phone on the counter. Brand new. And the purse on the table. Designer. She hadn't used that money to survive. She used it to upgrade her life. I shook my head. I came here because I thought maybe I was too hard on you. Maybe I should have opened the door that night. But this? This tells me I did the right thing. I turned to leave, but before I stepped away, I said one more thing, that necklace you threw away? I had it appraised. You know how much it was worth? Over $15,000. You called it garbage. And now you're selling fake sob stories online while you wear name brands and drink lattes. Her face went pale. She stepped forward. Wait, what did you do with it? I looked her dead in the eyes. I sold it. Then I left. Truth was, I hadn't sold it. It was still in my drawer at home. But I wanted her to feel it. To feel that loss. That weight. Because sometimes you have to let people feel what they threw away. After I told her I sold the necklace, I expected her to stay quiet, maybe slam the door, maybe block me from everything. But instead, something changed. A week later, I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten. No return address. It was from Lacey. Inside, just a few lines, I know I've messed up. But please don't sell it. It's all I have left of Mom. I didn't understand. I do now. Please. That letter sat on my counter for days. I stared at it every morning while I drank my coffee, every night when I came home from work. And I thought, now you care. Now it matters to you? After all the damage? I didn't respond. But I didn't throw it away either. Then things got even messier. A man showed up at my job one afternoon. Tall, slicked back hair, smelled like cologne and trouble. He asked for me by name. You're Lacey's old man? He asked. Who's asking? He smiled, but it wasn't friendly. Name's Cole. I'm her, let's say business partner. He handed me a flyer. Lacey's face was front and center. Empowering women, real stories from the streets. Some kind of speaking event. Tickets were $30 apiece. She's building something, he said. And she wants to reconnect. You should come out. I handed the flyer back. She already connected, I said. To my name, my story, my life. He chuckled. Look, I get it. You're mad. But she's moving on. You can either be part of the story or be left out. Then he walked off. I thought about it for 2 days. Then I did what I shouldn't have. I went. The event was at a library downtown. Clean, small room, folding chairs, water bottles on a table. About 30 people showed up. Mostly young women, a few older couples. Lacey sat at the front, holding a microphone. She looked polished. Calm. Not like the girl who showed up on my porch crying. Then she started talking. She told a story, our story. But it was twisted. She said she was raised by a father who never processed his grief, who shut down emotionally, who used guilt and silence to control her. She talked about the necklace again. Said it was a symbol of the weight her family put on her shoulders. That she threw it because she wanted freedom. People clapped. Then she said something that made my hands shake. She said I hit her. I remember one night, I told him I didn't want to follow the family traditions, she said. And he threw a plate. Not at me. But near me. That was the first time I realized I wasn't safe. That never happened. Ever. I stood up. My chair scraped the floor. She looked right at me. Didn't blink. Didn't pause. People turned. A woman near me whispered, "Is that him?" I left. My hands shook the whole drive home. When I got back, I pulled the necklace out of the drawer. It was still there. Still clean, still shining. Still mine. I knew then I couldn't just sit quiet anymore. She wasn't just bending the truth. She was rewriting it. Selling it. And I was the villain in every version. But I had something she didn't know about. Something that would tear that story apart. I had video. From her graduation party. My neighbor's husband, Ken, had filmed the whole thing on a handheld camcorder. He's old school, likes to record events for memories, he says. After the party, he gave me a copy. I never watched it, didn't want to. But it was still on a USB in my drawer. That footage showed everything. Her laughing. Her throwing the necklace. The silence. My face. It showed the truth. And I suddenly knew exactly what I was going to do with it. The next morning, I drove over to Ken's place. He's in his 60s, retired, always wearing the same Ohio State hoodie and a pair of old white sneakers. I knocked, he opened the door holding a cup of black coffee and smiled. "Been a while," he said. "You finally watching the video?" "I need a copy," I said. He didn't ask questions. Just nodded, went to his office, and brought me a fresh USB. It's all on here. The whole speech, the punch bowl, everything. "Thanks," I said. I took it home, plugged it into my laptop, and watched the moment all over again. There she was, standing in front of the table. I saw the people smiling, clapping, some holding plates of food. I heard my voice, calm, proud, full of love. And then I saw her. Her face when she opened the box. The smirk. The laugh. The exact words, "I wanted money, not garbage." Then the flick of her wrist. The splash. I saw myself walk over, pick it up, say nothing. It was all there. Unedited. Clear. I saved a few clips and edited them into a short video just under 2 minutes. I added no music, no effects, just titles. The truth about that day. Then I posted it. Not on Facebook. Not on YouTube. I sent it directly to everyone who donated to her GoFundMe. I'd written down the usernames from the donation comments. I found them. And I sent the video to all of them with one line: "Before you keep believing her, see what really happened." Within hours, people started pulling their donations. Some of them emailed me, shocked. One even wrote, "I asked for my money back. I'm sorry for judging you." Then someone leaked the video online. It hit Reddit. Then Twitter. People started sharing it with the caption, "Girl lies about abusive dad, truth comes out on video." The event page for her next talk got flooded with angry comments. Sponsors backed out. The venue dropped her. A week later, she showed up at my house again. This time, she was angry. "You ruined everything," she shouted from the porch. I stepped outside, stood in the doorway. "No," I said. "You did. I just showed them the truth." She started pacing. Her face was red. "You humiliated me. You want me to suffer? Fine, I get it. You want to punish me for one mistake." "One mistake?" I said. "Lying was one mistake? Saying I hit you? Stealing from people?" She didn't answer. "I loved you," I said. Even after you threw that necklace away, I waited. I hoped you'd grow. You didn't. You just got better at lying. She tried again. Can't we talk? Just, talk? No, I said. You don't get to rewrite the past and then ask me to forget it. Then I told her the final truth. I didn't sell the necklace. I still have it. But it's not yours anymore. She looked confused. Then whose is it? I stared at her for a long moment. I've changed my will. It's going to Cheryl's granddaughter now. She's 6. She helped Cheryl bake me a pie for my birthday. Drew me a picture of a necklace with the words, "Family Forever." She'll understand it someday. Lacey just stood there. Silent. I hope you figure things out, I said. But I'm done being your villain. I turned, went inside, and closed the door. This time, I didn't look back. I still have the necklace. Still keep it in the drawer. I take it out sometimes, just to remember. Not her. Not the party. But the lesson. Love can survive a lot. But respect? Once that's gone, there's no going back. That day, she threw away 5 generations. I just made sure she couldn't pretend she didn't.